Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time around.
And please come for Shopsy because he deserves it.
For what this time? What's up, people? Your boys are back. It's Taylor and Shopsy in the building.
Hope you guys are enjoying rocking with us. I promise to be an amazing episode today.
Again. Gerard here. Alright, man. Yo, Champions League this week. Things happen, man. We're in the business end of the season, and the businessmen are coming out.
So it's getting more and more interesting. And the most interesting game that I saw this week was the Real Madrid versus PSG game.
That game, Karim Benzema. Hands up to you, bro.
Of course, no.
That was
actually.
There, as a round of applause, if you're in your house, clap for Benzema home right now. Because what Benzema did that was a historic night in football. I saw a stat that he's only the second player ever after Ronaldo to score a hat-trick from being 2-0 down in Champions League tie.
And also,
so this was not normal.
He's actually the only player to score in Champions League for 15 years in a row.
15 years straight. Like this is what you call Champions League pedigree. Like he's comfortable. The Champions League are his ends. Like he hears the music and some people's feet get cold. Like his get hot. Like let's do this stuff. You can see it in his eyes. So yeah, that was an elite performance, and I feel like it was very important for Benzema's career. Because we always looked at Benzema through the lens of being Ronaldo's sidekick, passing to Ronaldo. Can he do it without Ronaldo? And then, so if Ronaldo has left now, obviously, and then his performances in the league have been very big. It showed that he can be the guy. But to do this in the Champions League against Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe on a night like that, that's historic, man.
Exactly. On a night where they had already lost the first leg 1-0, even though...
Then they went behind on this night
PSG had scored first. And even though, there's no more, away goal rule. Wait, let's just segue. What do you think about that? I'm not a fan of them removing the away goal rule.
I'm a fan of them removing the away goal. Because I feel if you are going to go through, then just win the match. I don't like a situation whereby we can draw 0-0 in my own house. We go to your house, we draw 1-1. On that game, the score is 1-1, but I'm going through because
it basically,
at the end of the day, we both scored 1 goal.
It adds to it. And then let me give you a reason why I feel like it adds to it. So now imagine this game, this PSG versus Real Madrid game, where PSG were already leading 1-0. But the home crowd support that Real Madrid had literally turned the game on its head in favor of Real Madrid. Real Madrid were played, like PSG played Real Madrid throughout the first half. Even 10-15 minutes into the second half, PSG were on the up. And then Real Madrid had a big chance. The Madrid fans got lively, and that's where everything started to change.
As a result of the removal of the away goal?
I feel like that's as a result of the home team advantage. So if home team advantage in the shape of fans can favor you, why will away team advantage in the shape of an away goal not favor you?
Give you some sort
of advantage. I saw a stat before the game that the stadium, 65,000 fans were allowed to sit in the stadium, and only 1,800 of them were PSG fans. So imagine that situation. So if PSG had that disadvantage facing a Bernabeu crowd like that, and then
you're right. That's the flip end of the argument. But I feel like we're still in the testing periods of this, so we'll see how the tournament goes. I really
do hope
maybe it can look back
changes. And then another thing is it might not change because starting from 2023 or 2024,
but yeah, we'll get all into that. Let's stay on topic right now, and that's Karim Benzema. So yeah, historic performance, all-time performance. So I want to ask you a question now. Where do you think Benzema ranks in terms of the best players in the world right now? And this is for you guys at home as well. You can let us know in your comments.
In terms of best players in the world, he's elite. Honestly, Benzema, elite striker.
So do you think he's the best player in the world right now?
I don't think he's the best player in the world right now.
Who do you think is the best player in the world right now?
You have to give me time to actually count down our reason.
But I mean, when you think about
the best player in the world
when you think about it, the only other people are putting that conversation with him right now over the last season, and I guess the last couple of seasons are
I'll put Salah.
Lewandowski, Salah, and maybe Mbappe, but yeah, Lewandowski and Salah. So he's definitely in that conversation after his Nation League heroics, like what he does for them in La Liga, and then this Champions League, like
he's basically taking it like.
And then he has a World Cup to impress that. So Benzema winning the Ballon d'Or is not far-fetched.
To be honest, it's not far-fetched. He can be in and around the conversation. But saying categorically now that he's the best player in the world off the back of one hat-trick in the Champions League.
No, but that's the thing. It's not off the back of one hat-trick in the Champions League. It's what he has done
off the back of his last 3 seasons, and then culminating into that game that you're not saying, oh, this is that.
But I think before that game, Karim Benzema, for me, he was in the conversation for the best player in the world.
He has always been.
And then to now do something that historic against a team that, like, we need to realize that, okay, now we can say PSG are soft, yeah, they look weak, but hindsight is 2020. Coming into this season, the Champions League was PSG's to win.
Absolutely.
So for him to rock up 2-0, 2 goals down,
to be
and
honest
then
with
do
you,
that,
it was actually a big thing for them because first leg, PSG played them from beginning to the end.
Yeah, I thought this was a foregone. When
Second
the
leg
Mbappe
again, it was
scored
happening. PSG
2-0, I
was
thought
balling
a
them.
foregone. Yeah.
And then only for, Benzema
For
to come
a
up
big
top.
man with ice in his veins to come up and perform. Like, I'm not gonna forget that performance. I don't think many will forget that performance. But on the other end of that was Mbappe, who Mbappe lost, but he will come out of this with his shoulders held really
Most
high.
definitely.
After the first leg performance and the second leg performance. Like, Mbappe was the big homie on the pitch that had Neymar and Messi on the pitch.
Facts.
If PSG were going to come out of that, it was going to be Mbappe. And there's a lot to say from that, considering what, he's 22 years old.
He's a small boy.
Like,
he's a small boy.
He's a rookie, but he moves like a
He's
vet.
a small
Like,
boy, but he balls like he's, like experienced and everything. And that's what's good about the guy. And that's why I feel like the conversation about whether he's better than Rashford or not is dead. Like, it is dead.
That died.
That
died a long time
He's
ago.
world ahead.
And separate from the talent, it's also the occasions that Mbappe
He rises
World
up
Cup
to.
final, he will do it. He knocked out Barcelona once. He knocked out Bayern Munich once. When he was still at Monaco, a fresh-faced little boy, he broke like Juventus. They hadn't conceded in like 14 matches. This kid came, popped. Like, he's different gravy, man.
No,
normal
Mbappe
gravy and then
definitely
Mbappe.
is. And that brings us to the conversation of whether or not he's going to Real Madrid. I think it is constant. Mbappe is going to Real Madrid.
It's a done deal at this point.
He's going to Real Madrid.
After losing to Real Madrid, he will just realize that, PSG is a nice club. They have Jordan on their jersey. They're in Paris, but you can't buy heritage, man. And Real Madrid,
is calling.
The Los Blancos Galactico pool
he does love Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's always loved Real Madrid, and it's just his dream that PSG are going to have to, after that performance, the price just went all the way up. They're going to keep him. They're going to see his
I'm hearing they're actually offering him astronomical figures.
It has to be.
But that also brings me to a question that I want to ask you. If he actually does move to Real Madrid, does he dislodge Vinicius Jr., who is actually on form, from that left-hand side?
No, I think if he goes, they can't dislodge Vinicius Jr. I think if he goes to Real Madrid right now, I think Mbappe, you can see Mbappe go back to the right wing, which is where he made a lot of his main. That's where he thrived for France. Like, I feel as a wide player, you're not cutting in, so that pace is just so much deadlier when it's just a straight sprint on your right foot. So yeah, I think Vinicius has proven that he's a big baller. He got the assist for one of the goals, composure on a big night like that. So Vinicius is a lock in the Real Madrid.
I feel like
it's Hazard. They might take Hazard's shirt number as well. So that number 7 will drop it too.
So that's actually the thing. I feel like when he actually comes to Real Madrid, he's going to dislodge Vinicius on a fact. Because he's that kind of player that they're buying for not just what he would do on the pitch. He's a talisman. They'll give him number 7 jersey.
But I think keeping Vinicius means that now Real Madrid have a serious front three.
Bro,
it's
Mbappe,
Vinicius,
Benzo,
I think Vinicius, like,
Vini.
a lot of people questioned him. Benzema questioned him. There was a video of Benzema saying, telling teammates not to pass to Vinicius. From just 2 years ago that he's playing against us, to now being, he's Real Madrid's second most important, okay, maybe when you look at Casemiro, but offensive player after Benzema.
The first 2 goals Real Madrid scored actually came from
Vinicius and
Vinicius'
Benzema.
side.
Exactly.
So,
like, he's clear of Eden Hazard right now. So if
Facts.
anyone's getting this lot, all these Hazard, Bale, Lucas Vasquez, all those guys it's quiet for them when Mbappe comes through.
Facts.
So this Mbappe discussion just had me thinking, has there been a young player that's been not just as talented as Mbappe, but as decisive as Kylian Mbappe?
Bro, there were, bro, Messi. You know, let's get ahead of ourselves. Like, what Mbappe is doing now is not as crazy as what Messi came into that Barca squad.
But I think we need to, but we need to consider.
And that's just Messi. There's Kaká, was a legit
I can give you
baller
maybe
from
Messi.
small.
Another player I think we should into this debate is R9, who was winning Ballon d'Ors in this period. But when I talk about the decisiveness of Kylian Mbappe, Mbappe was one of the best players at a World Cup that his team won at like 19. You can't say that about anybody else. You can't tell me, no, which World Cup?
Not
This
necessarily
guy,
World
Mbappe,
Cup.
what did Messi win at 19?
But Mbappe didn't win the
And
World
what
Cup by
did
himself.
I mean, he didn't win it by himself, but he
didn't
was
win the World Cup by
France's best
himself.
player at the World Cup.
He was France's best team for a
No.
while.
Yeah, that's true. But Mbappe was the same way Barcelona, when Messi was there, was the best team in
Barcelona's
football
best
history.
team.
No, not Barcelona's best team. The best in football history was what Messi walked into. So please
Yeah,
don't judge
so-
Mbappe for walking into a good team. What I'm trying to say is, it's one thing to be in this team, but to be the best player on the team, and then to score in the final again, like there's a start. If young players don't score the World Cup final since Pele, like this stuff is otherworldly. But yeah, Mbappe, yeah, he's on fire.
I mean, you might want to say that, but it's very, very arguable.
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very
yeah.
arguable.
It's up for debate for sure.
Very,
But I
very
think it's a conversation that, as we're watching the Mbappe trajectory, let's just because we're seeing this in real time, so let's not get carried away and forget the little details that this is happening. Like, he's already broken out to see as one of the best young players of all time. He's having these big knockout performances, and we're still only 22 years old. So yeah, watching trajectory is going to be brilliant to
He's
watch.
definitely
Like,
one who's made for the stars.
Yeah.
He's there.
He was born in the limelight, lives in the limelight, and will die in the limelight. God forbid. All right, so that's Mbappe. Another big thing that's going on in football right now is the Chelsea situation.
Yo,
The
that's
sanctions
big.
have been ranked up, and so at first I first started with sanctions against Roman Abramovich, and okay, for his Russian ties, blah blah blah. But now we're seeing Chelsea as a football club facing sanctions as well. How do you feel about
So
that?
this is the thing. I feel like a breakdown needs to happen because there's many fans, especially Chelsea fans, that are feeling hard done by the decision by the UK government, right? But the truth is, at the end of the day, you cannot really separate Roman Abramovich from Chelsea. Roman Abramovich is Chelsea. Chelsea is Roman Abramovich. Like, that is his business. So take for instance, if this was a Russian person, a Russian billionaire who owned, for example, like a biscuit or a confectionery, a biscuit making business, right? If they sanctioned him, they would definitely halt production of whatever biscuits he's making, right? They will halt production, halt transportation, halt everything, and say, fam, we're seizing this business from me. It's either we liquidify
Or sell it to the state
or
or
sell it off
something like
and
that.
whatnot. But it is just unfortunate that, you know, this happens to be Chelsea, where the decisions would actually affect players from many different nationalities,
Yeah,
staff
fans,
from many different nationalities, and fans. So that's why the Chelsea, the UK government are trying to be as careful with it as possible, right? They're saying, we've sanctioned you, you've been banned, your asset has been frozen, but the club can continue to run. I tell you, it is within the UK government's right to actually halt Chelsea from playing football games. They actually can do that. Based on the fact that it is his business, it is his money that runs the business, his money that funds the business, they actually say, Chelsea, this business, stop completely because
I
we're
feel
freezing
like
this
if
asset.
we're going to allow Roman Abramovich to own a club like Chelsea, collect money from like Newcastle, the Etihad and all that, then we've already made the decision that we're allowing people that I guess we're not really sure of their income run Premier League football clubs.
It's not about the
so
income.
I feel that
It's
we
not even
should-
about his income. That's another thing
It
I
is
need you
now.
to know.
It's about-
No. So now that's the thing, right? The UK government's argument is it is not the cleanliness of his income. No, because at the end of the day, let's face the facts. A lot of corrupt money goes into football, into music, into everything. You know, it runs industries. But his close ties with Vladimir Putin.
I feel like that's a personal
That
thing
is
because
the
okay, yeah,
actual
they say
reason.
that they're close ties, but these close ties have been severed for a long time. So if you are going to allow
No,
this
no,
man-
that's not true.
They have.
That's
no,
not
they're
true.
not.
That is not
it's
true.
No, okay.
That is not true.
Maybe I can be fact checked, but let's move on. But the public checks, as in from what we know, is that their relationship, yes, they had been closer previously, but in recent times the relationship has severed, and there could be here that Putin and all his advisors, they've been, I guess, a war will do that to you. But basically, if you're going to allow people come to the country, and whilst they're there, they're talking about, oh yeah, we all love Roman Abramovich, what he's done for football in England, all the jobs he's provided, blah blah blah. These things are still happening. He's still providing these jobs. So to not just wake up one day and be like, well, now you're a villain, but like, there's no new information on Roman Abramovich that has come out.
As
So
you
that's my
said.
point. And I feel like, so now we say that they're allowing Chelsea to run. They're allowing Chelsea to run, but like with a noose around their neck. They're asking them to spend, so they put a cap on how much Chelsea are allowed to spend on match days where they are home, so £500,000, which is significantly less than how much they ever spend on home games. They put a cap on how much they can spend to fly for away games, which is to play away games, which is at 20,000, which where you're playing European games, like these are longer flights. And so Chelsea might be the F word. Like
I think so this is the thing, right? I feel like the UK government have been careful. I say that over and over again because the fact that they're still allowing stuff to happen, there's just stuff that you cannot allow to happen. Like the stadium cannot undergo renovation at the moment because where's the money supposed to come from? It comes from Roman Abramovich, right? So that's on hold. We're not talking about that. That has been stopped, right?
That's fair enough.
You can't conduct transfer business because where does the money come
Till
from?
when, though?
For now, and that's another thing, right? They're trying to look for a good solution to every, a meaningful solution to everything. Try and find a way to sell the club as quickly as possible. I know that selling the club will actually be fast track. We know how difficult it is to buy a club in the UK. We know the kind of checks that the UK government and whoever conduct on players and on owners, prospective owners, to find.
If you are doing these checks to let them,
I believe it to be fast track to reduce the effect of this on Chelsea's title chances.
So what? Okay, so if you are fast tracking that, what are the odds? What if you get another Roman Abramovich? What if now is another billionaire from God knows where who has gotten his funds illegally? So my point is that if you are going to allow these people come into the league without doing any extra checks, say that we don't like your money. Then when you allow them come to league, then I think there needs to be a clear separation between them and the club. Once you allow them in, you've allowed them into our doors. Once they're in, then separate the two. You can now allow them in and say, okay, it's fine. And then 10 years down the line, your relationship with somebody that you were friends with in 10 years will now cost you and the livelihood of the club.
I feel like
these are the individuals.
The UK government should look at separating the owners
from the club.
So
or either you separate the owners from the club, or your background checks and know your customer are so strict that you know everyone that owns a Premier League football club is squeaky clean.
And you know that's not possible. So the most viable solution is to actually find a way to separate owners from clubs whereby things like this will not affect, do you understand, the club as much as it's currently going to affect Chelsea.
The amount of Chelsea Football Club is big. It's probably one of the biggest employers in the country. Like when you look at businesses and all that. So the livelihood of a lot of people is going to be affected by this. And yeah, we just hope this Russia-Ukraine situation can come to an amicable end where, both parties are happy, safe, and not many lives are lost. All right, so coming up for Chelsea, they have a Champions League game next week against Lille. They are 2-0 up already. So yeah, we're curious to see how the
logistics will happen. Let's actually look at what
how are they going to get there? Are we going to see Chelsea fans on something like Airpiece or I don't know. Yeah, how are they going to get that done? Is that going to affect the mentality of the players? Are they going to perform? So that's interesting.
You told me before we started that Liverpool only charters private flights. So Chelsea will now be jumping flights.
Chelsea are going to be a boarding coach, man. Babies will be crying on the plane next to Kaya. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. If they can get it too. But you know Chelsea, when during rough times, they can just pull off something and win on our Champions League.
I'm actually sure.
Who knows?
I'm sure they'll be fine. Their last game yesterday against Norwich, they didn't seem to be faced.
And to be honest, they're not going to face the suffering from this is in the future. Like they've already spent how much money. They already have caveats.
There's cash.
They have. Look how many players Chelsea have on loan.
So it's not all doom and gloom for Chelsea.
Yeah, not right now. In the short term, it's not all doom and gloom. And somebody will buy Chelsea. It's a big club.
Yeah. So yeah,
Chelsea
forward to their Champions League game.
Look forward to their Champions League game against Lille. Can they come back?
United.
Exactly. Man U Atletico. That's a very big game. I wish I had more time to discuss that. So quickly, do you think you're going through? It's 1-1 at the stand.
1-1. Yeah.
All to play for at is it Old Trafford or all to play for Old Trafford? You think United are going through?
I think United will go through.
I'm going to go the other way. I think Atletico are going to go through. I've seen teams worse than Atletico give it to United. So at Old Trafford.
Let's see.
So yeah, backing Simeone and his boys.
Let's see that.
Alright, so that's an episode. You guys should let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed today. Let us know where you rank Mbappe in terms of all-time youngsters. Let us know what you think is going to happen with his future. Let us know what you think about the Benzema performance, where he ranks as well. Also, the Chelsea situation. Let us know your thoughts. Your theories. Then Man U Atletico coming up. So Tele thinks Man U are going to deck Atletico. They're 1-1 in the Champions League right now.
I'm not saying they will
deck.
I think we'll go.
At this point, deck is a must-win game for both sides. There's no away goals and all that. If you are going through, you have to beat Atletico Madrid.
1-0 is not.
I think Atletico are going to do it, but let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time around.
And please come for Chelsea because he deserves it.
For what this time? I ain't do nothing.
Thanks for hating.
Alright, see you.